Hi YouTube, welcome to the Pagan Perspective. This is Subs Week. I'm Megan, and today we're talking about your soul. Hi YouTube, this is the Pagan Perspective. It's Wednesday, Subs Week, and I am Megan, aka Sabirasri, and today we're talking about souls. So the question this week comes from TheRitzyMuffin, and I love that name. It's like the cutest name. And TheRitzyMuffin asks, what do you think a soul is? Do animals also have souls? How do souls play into reincarnation, or whatever you believe? So really we have three questions here. So let's just start with the question. So at Twisted Witch did an amazing job. I mean, that was just an awesome video. So I have some different views on it, but I highly recommend watching that video because I think that especially tools that he was able to give you, it's phenomenal. So I highly recommend taking the time to watch the video. It's a little longer, but it's so worth it. So mine probably won't be as long, but first is, what do you think a soul is? This question is one I think that is very personal and can vary depending on your tradition and your beliefs. So in my tradition, what a soul is it's your essence, the energy that's inside you, your thoughts, every single bit about you. If we didn't have a soul, we would just be a body empty, just a machine functioning, but there wouldn't be anything behind that. We would go through the motions, but we wouldn't have any feeling. So the soul is that essential essence of yourself and that energy, and that never dies. So I very much have a belief that souls are something that came about early on. The god and the goddess created souls, and those souls have been reincarnating. Now, I believe that souls are being constantly made, so we have new souls and old souls, and I'll get to what I believe about that in a second. But the idea is that the more you reincarnate, the older your soul is, and the more lessons you have learned, your soul has learned. And so the whole goal of a soul, a new soul, is it's this new little ball of energy that gets put into some sort of life form in order to learn a lesson. Or it needs to hang out for a while in different dimensions, in different worlds, anything that will teach it what it needs to learn in order for it to ascend to the next level and to become a minor deity in its own right, and then eventually to rejoin with the god and the goddess as the prime deities. So the idea is that this soul needs to grow and develop and become bigger. So this little ball of energy, this perfect little ball, needs to become this radiant, effervescent light. And the idea of having an old soul is that that soul is one that's been around for a while. It's learned a lot of lessons. It's getting closer to ascension. It's getting closer to the point in which it no longer needs to learn all the different lessons for this turn, and it's ready almost for the next incarnation, the next evolution, I guess you could say. So a new soul is one little tiny baby energy ball that is just barely formed, is just barely brought about, and that in turn will begin to grow. So my belief system is that for every soul that ascends to the next plane, ascends past the physical realm of needing a body, a new soul is then created. So I also believe that we have soul bonds and soul pairs. So I believe that souls, oftentimes people will ascend together, and so then two new souls are created together. And I believe that they are soul paired, soul bonded. So that means that they will always seek each other out in whatever lifetime they're in, often for hand fastings. Sometimes it's for just best friends, mother-daughter, father-son, father-daughter, mother-son. It could be any combination thereof. However, more typically, soul bonded pairs or romantic pairs. And those can be male-male, female-female, male-female, transgender, queer, questioning, anything under the rainbow it could be. The point is that those two souls share something. They have a bond of sorts, and they know it, and they can feel it, and they're drawn to each other. And it's not just in this lifetime, it's in other lifetimes as well. So that's a little bit about my belief on what a soul is. I do believe souls are eternal. They just pass on to the next ascension level, and after that, even farther. Animals have souls, absolutely, because I don't distinguish between a soul in a human and an animal soul. I believe that the souls in the animals could also have been a human in their past life, and maybe in their next life will be a human. I know I've been an animal in my past life, and some of my past lives, and I probably will be an animal in future lives as well. So the point is that animal souls, I don't believe, are different, essentially different in any way from human souls. I believe that they're all souls, and we interchange for them. So that's, I guess for me, I don't distinguish between an animal soul and a human soul. I think they're all soul. They're all the same thing. I do believe, though, in essential elemental energy of spirit in animal. Animal spirit is slightly different, but it's what you learn in that place. I also believe that there are souls in trees and in plants, primarily trees, but also in plants as well. Trees are very important to me in what I do. I also believe that oftentimes we forget that we have been reincarnated into some of these things. I know for someone in my family, she very much is attuned with trees. It's very important to her, and she knows that in a past life, she was a tree, and she knows where she was as well and what she was going through, and it's a very different experience. It's usually something that occurs closer to the ascension process because there's a lot of reflection and time, because trees are so long-lived that it's a lot of meditative time and a way of looking at the world through a different set of eyes. When you look at the world and things go by fast around you because you're stationary and slow, it's a very different experience, highly spiritual and highly moving. So hopefully that answers those questions. I kind of, in a way, answered the third one in answering the first two, and that is, how do souls play into reincarnation, or whatever you believe. So in a way, I kind of got all three of them in there. I certainly could expand on it a little bit more, but I feel like I kind of answered this question as best I could without giving too much away. Obviously, my tradition, a hereditary tradition, is a little bit more closed book, and we don't say everything that we believe, but try to give as much as I can and let you all in a little bit into my world and my tradition. So those are my answers for what a soul is, and I really hope that everybody is having a wonderful holiday season. The solstice is fast approaching. I'm really excited. The snow hit us here in New England pretty hard yesterday, which was a little nerve-wracking, but it definitely was nice to feel that winter is definitely upon us, and the cycles of nature are working the way they should. And I have a video on my personal channel where I sing Christmas songs, but the words are changed to solstice or Yule. And in one of them, and it's a takeoff of God Rest Ye Merry, I don't even know the actual, Gentlefolk or something like that. I don't know the actual one because I've memorized the pagan lyrics, but it's God's Rest Ye Merry Pagan Folk. And in it, it says, "The winter's worst still lies ahead, fierce tempest, snow, and rain." So even though the solstice is coming, we know there'll be more storms. We know it's going to get pretty bad. However, we can celebrate the light coming back and the light returning, and that's the most important thing. So I hope that you all have love and light for the holidays, for whatever you believe, whatever you celebrate. I hope that for those in the Southern Hemisphere, you have a phenomenal, phenomenal summer, and all the blessings to you for that as well. And I look forward to seeing you all after the break, and blessed be.